Changes that affect landlords in the upcoming rental reforms legislation taking into effect May 19th, 2025. Changes to termination notices. Now, this is probably one of the biggest changes in the upcoming rental reforms, and this absolutely affects you as a landlord. So what has changed? A landlord is now no longer able to terminate a tenancy based on an end of fixed term termination notice or a 90-day no grounds termination notice. Both of those have been abolished. If a landlord is looking at ending a tenancy, the termination notice must be one of the prescribed notices under the new legislation. Now, some of those prescribed reasons are: the property is going on the market for sale. The landlord is moving into the property. An immediate family member of the landlord is moving into the property. The property is going to be demolished. The property is going to undergo major renovations, which means the tenant needs to vacate the property in order to complete these renovations. And that might be new flooring, new kitchen, new bathrooms. The purpose of the property is changing. So instead of it being a residential tenancy, it is turning into a business premises, or you're moving it into a holiday rental. Now, a landlord must issue the tenants with a termination notice and also an information statement. Now, that information statement will need to provide supporting documents to prove to the tenant the reason for ending the tenancy. Now, each of those termination notices, the supporting documents will be different depending on the notice. With these termination notices, there are also exclusion periods in place. So the exclusion period is you will not be able to re-lease or put a new tenant into that property before the exclusion period. Now, those exclusion periods are: if you have terminated the tenancy based on it changing from a residential tenancy to a business or a holiday rental, the exclusion period is 12 months. If you've put the property on the market for sale and you have unfortunately not been able to sell, the exclusion period is 6 months. If the landlord has moved into the property or an immediate family member, the exclusion period is 6 months. If you have done major renovations, the exclusion period is 4 weeks. Now, it's really important that you do abide by these new legislations. There are extreme fines. So those fines can range from $2,200 all the way up to $75,000 per offence. If for some reason you need to lease the property out before the exclusion period, you can apply for approval through the secretary, and it will be at their discretion to approve or decline. If you have any further questions regarding these termination notices, please feel free to give me a call.